In a quiet monastery, hidden deep among the blue-gray mountains, morning mist drifted through the pine trees like breath. The temple bell rang once, slow, hollow, eternal. It was the sound that awakened the world, and a young monk named Riku. Before the first light touched the valley, Riku was already at practice. His hands were steady, his eyes clear, yet his arrow trembled on the string. He released, and missed, again, and again. The echo of failure lingered longer than the sound of the bow. Hours later, as the sun began to rise behind the mountains, Riku sat quietly in the courtyard, the cool stone beneath his knees, his arrows scattered, his brush stained, his spirit uneasy. And in the silence between his heartbeats, a question whispered through him, "Why do I keep falling?"
One day, he went to his master and said, "Master, I've tried and failed 1,000 times. Perhaps I am not meant for this path." The old master looked at him and smiled. "Riku," he said, "what happens when you fall?" "I get up again," replied the monk. The master nodded. "Then why do you fear the fall? The ground that catches you is not your enemy, it is your teacher. To rise once is effort. To rise 7 times, that is enlightenment."
And so, Riku practiced again. He still missed the mark. He still stumbled on the same stones. Yet every time he fell, he pressed his palms to the earth and whispered, "Thank you for teaching me." Seasons turned to years. The trembling boy became a calm, steady master, not because he stopped falling, but because he no longer feared the ground. He had learned that mastery was never about perfection. It was about the quiet courage to rise, again and again. One dawn, as the first light touched the mountains, Riku stood before the target once more. His breath was still, his mind unshaken. He drew the bow, not with force, but with presence. The arrow flew, silent and true, and found its mark. In that instant, he smiled, for he finally understood. The path was never about never falling. It was about learning how to rise. Fall 7 times, rise 8. Remember this, my friend. Every fall is a lesson written in the language of growth. Don't curse the ground you stumble on, bow to it, for the path doesn't demand perfection, only the courage to keep walking. Thank you for watching.